Good afternoon. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. And for this edition of Trade Talks, David Cowen, is the president and CEO of the Museum of American Finance, joins me at the MarketSite. And if anyone ever makes it to New York City, this is definitely one of those destinations that you have to go to because it's a super cool place to be. David, thank you for joining me at MarketSite. Before we get into what the Museum of American Finance is, I understand we're doing some show and tell.
We definitely are. We're a museum. We like to showcase our items, and we've got some great pieces of financial history. We have tens of thousands of objects in our archives. I brought two. The first one is from when Alexander Hamilton was Secretary of the Treasury. It's from 1791, and he's using an agent, in this case the Bank of New York, to purchase some public debt, some $50,000 worth. In today's parlance, this is nothing more than open market operations that we're used to through what we would call primary dealers.
Right.
Let's fast forward, though, to something that's relevant to here, 180 years later, and here is a picture, February 1791.
Oh my God.
From to now 1971, February, we have the Nasdaq, and the earliest of days, you know, a very different floor from what it is.
Right.
The computer system from today, a very different system, but very exciting. One gentleman, what do you think?
I didn't even know what to say. I'm speechless. Even if we just look around the studio now and the desk that we have across the floor, even the size of the computer. Meanwhile, we could do more on our smartphones than you could do with that entire terminal. So it's mind-blowing to see this. But tell us more about the museum itself.
Sure, and one of the things that we do when we show these objects, you know, if you don't know where you've been, how do you know where you're going? And so we've got a core mission at the museum: preserve, exhibit, and teach about our nation's finances and financial history. We're a Smithsonian affiliate. We're a Smithsonian that is allowed to borrow from them, but we're not a grand Smithsonian. We don't get governance, but we can borrow very cool objects. What's preserved? That's the archives. I've showed you two of the items. Exhibits, we have exhibits all the way through the museum about capital markets, and then Alexander Hamilton, who's so hot now. With
I was going to say that's definitely a relevant topic.
Right, our currency that's going on, and teach is financial literacy. And sadly, our nation is financially illiterate.
I was going to ask you, why is that so important to the American public? It's not just Wall Street that should care about finance.
You use finance every day in your life, no matter who you are, whether you're just going to the store to make change to very big decisions like a mortgage or, you know, saving for a 401k. And so it's very important that we teach it. We don't have uniform standards in our school system. The museum has a lot of programs to this, a lot of them geared towards high schoolers, a whole free finance academy with 8 weeks of after-school classes. We're doing a lot of that through also an evening lecture series, lunch and learn series. Our nation needs to become better educated financially.
I'm surprised there's only one museum dedicated to this compared to other regions of the world that might have several.
You have it. China, over 24 finance museums right now. They get it. Again, they get some state sponsorship as opposed to us. You know, we're a fully 501c3 independent museum. But yes, other nations definitely get it. And I want America to get it even more. This is critical because finance is the horse to the economy's cart. It is how we built this economy, starting with the days of Alexander Hamilton. And now today we want people to appreciate that. And one of the things we're doing now is the CEO lecture series with that, as you're well aware, because we can contextualize why finance matters, you know, throughout history and how you built this country. But we want to hear from today's CEOs, like Adina Friedman, will be on November 16th, about why finance matters to them.
Can you give us a little tidbit of what she said?
I am not going to give you a tidbit, nor do I know what she said, quite frankly, but I'm sure she'll be terrific.
All right, and we'll be looking forward to checking that out. Traders, as always, thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.